Hey, it's Bevan Bird with AIArtGodMode.com, and I want to show you in this video for newbies something that you need to know when you first start using Midjourney in Discord. So yeah, I use it in the direct message with the Midjourney bot, and that makes it much more focused and clear, simple, less distracting, and it's only showing what you're actually doing. But if you start in a newbie room. So you're in the server, the Midjourney server, and then like a newbie room, and you imagine things in here. And so then it has a mix of different people's stuff. Okay, so what do you do about that? Go to the inbox up here and mentions. Okay, now it's okay. This is fine. So here's a couple things. I actually already recorded this video, but then I wasn't recording my voice, and that was really frustrating because it was like 50 minutes long. But now we're doing it shorter. So you just click jump, and you're at the post of the thing you imagined. Inbox, mentions, and then here, this one had an image, an input image, like a reference image in the prompt, and this what I wrote, because I'm just starting by showing something very simple. So we click jump and we're on that post. So then you can click here and copy message link, right? So you go copy message link, that gives you a URL you can open up in your browser. And I did that earlier. You can see these two blue ones here. So then you get this. It's like the Discord app in your browser, and you can interact with it. You can upscale them, like it's like reading a book, left to right and top to down, top to bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So upscale. Which one do you want to upscale? I upscaled 4 last time, and make variations of it. So I'm not going to go into detail like that other video because I feel like I just taught it already. The 50 minutes thing. But in this short video, we're just talking about transferring them from the newbie room, like say a post that you want to use, some image that you like, that you want to use, transferring that into the direct message with the Midjourney bot, so that then you're just in your chat privately just with the bot, and it's just your post. So how can we do that? Well, here we've got this post and this image, and it's not an upscale, so we can't click to go to the web, like a website about an image like this, for example, or like this. Okay, but what we can do though is click on the image and then click open in browser. So now we have a URL, right? It's going to show up there. Okay, here. So you can just save this image, right? If I save it to the computer hard drive, then I'll have a file which will be called this. And then what's the job ID? It's this. So the file name starts with your username and the beginning of your prompt, and it goes to a certain point, and then then it cuts off because of the length, and there'll be an underscore, unless your prompt was really short, right? And then you'll have an underscore and the job ID. So that's the part there. It's hexadecimal, and it's got some couple dashes in it. Okay, so what we do is take the job ID. There's also other ways to get that I can show, but for now, I showed you that here. So what you want to do is go to the direct messages. Instead of being in the Midjourney Discord server, right, go to direct messages with the Midjourney bot, and then enter this command, show. I hit tab and paste and hit enter. Okay, so show that job ID, and then it will make a post in here which will be a new post with the same content in it. And now we're not in the newbie room anymore. We're in here, and we can work with this here. But I wasn't intending to work with this. This was just an example from a different video, just as an arbitrary simple example. But you could do that. And so if I re-roll the prompt, that's like doing imagine the same prompt again, right? But because I'm in remix mode, then I get the option to edit the prompt now, right? So instead of red, it's going to be green, and that's all I'm changing. Okay, but it still has the reference image, right? It still has an image input into the prompt too. Let's take that away too. Green. Okay. So just as a simple little example. Okay, now I'll show you more things that is useful when you're just starting out with Midjourney. See your settings, right? Check info. Okay, so the settings, you can then change which version of Midjourney you're using to generate images or art. And I talked about other ones in that other video. I'll still post that first video. It's just the problem is that I didn't record my voice, and I thought I was teaching it the whole thing, which is crazy. So it was just a setting in my screen recording thing, and hopefully won't make that mistake again. Do a simple test recording first. So that first one, in that video, I still taught quite a few things, but all you'll see is me showing you stuff on the screen and clicking on things, so it still might be useful, right, because of running through certain steps and things like that, but you won't have nuances or context or like explanations because I was just speaking all that, and it's not recorded anywhere. Okay. And then, yeah, if you have any questions about that, just send questions in, and then we'll answer the questions and make more videos to answer those. Okay, so go to aiartgodmode.com because you want to go full on God mode with your AI art, right? So go to aiartgodmode.com and opt in, get on the newsletter, and you will be able to just hit reply and send in your questions. Okay, so you can pick which version of Midjourney you want to use. You just click the button. Fast mode or relaxed mode. Fast uses your fast credits. This is what I'm currently on that mode, right? You go /info and then you'll see, yeah, and then you'll see this. It will pop up. So it's showing how much time I have remaining and when that will expire. In about 4 days, then this expires. I still have over 11 hours. And every hour is 60 minutes, and it takes about a minute to generate, and it's computing time. So that tells you how many you can generate. So it's like 11.83, right? Well, we'll just use the 15 though. This is like a $30 a month plan, right? So 15 hours times 60 minutes is 900. So that's about 30 a day, right? So you can generate like 30 images a day. Upscaling takes more computing than doing variations. Like when we generate this and we get these 4, the grid, that's like generating variations. So that takes like a minute of computing time. And doing an upscale should take more than that. And then it also depends on, you can set a setting for how fast you want it to generate. So that will also affect it. But we won't get into that now. You can just get into that in the future. But if you go to relax mode, then you won't use your credits, your fast time. And so normally I have it in fast mode, and if I'm at the computer working on art, then I'm in fast mode, generally. And then relax mode, say I'm away from the computer, but I enter some prompts in so that it can create some art or doing some experiments. Maybe I generate some prompts with software and I have like parts of the prompt being changed. Like the style, like which artists that it's combining together or whatever. Or maybe multiple variations, like maybe multiple different variables of it are changing. Well, those different prompts that are generated by that software, I could just enter them in, like imagine this, imagine that, whatever. That puts them all into the queue, and then they would be there. They would be getting generated, and they'd be queued behind it. So you can see a queue for fast and a queue for relax. And it might do 3 jobs at a time for you, or maybe 4. And so you can use relax mode so that you're not using your credits, but that's generally like when you're not at the computer. So that's just a point about that. And yeah, you can switch on and off remix mode here. You just click that button. It's green, so it's on right now. So we can just click it and we can change that to relax. But you can do it by typing too. So you go fast. That would get you into fast mode. You have to click that and hit enter, or you gotta or you have to go like type fast or whatever and hit tab and then enter. See, because what it's done is entered that command in. That's because there may be different options. See, /im. Okay, you can see there's different ones here, right? /I. Okay, so this might work, but if I go /I, it might actually select a different thing, but whatever, right? So anyway, it does this. If I hit tab, it's going to just put this one in. But say we put the mouse here, the cursor. That didn't do it though, right? And even with it here, it won't. It's tab isn't really the right thing. Actually, it is. It just behaves differently because I clicked. So anyway, we won't get into that. But there you go. Okay, now of course the first video was a lot better because I showed a lot of stuff and I made it very interesting, but in this one I'm just showing you a couple of things really simply. So yeah, you'd go like fast, right? Hit enter. That enters that command. Relax is the opposite. But I don't want to be in relax mode because we have those credits and I want to use them before it expires, although I'm not sure if I will. But it would be better to get the output faster, so we want it in fast mode. And the other part was remix. Okay, so I enter this remix command, and it's now turned it off. So even though it said prefer remix, it toggles. So whenever we enter that command, we're toggling it one way or the other. So now I'm turning it back on. Okay, and yeah, if you go to settings, then you can just click on those buttons to turn them on or off. So that's why I'm showing you that now. So you have that, and you got Imagine, and you can start creating things. And also Describe, if you put Describe and you upload an image into it, that was how I created something which then was used. Oh wait, I'm not sure if it's gonna, like, it's not gonna pop up here, but you'll see it over here though. Like these. Okay, so there was something where I uploaded an image. I said, like, describe this thing, and it gave like 5 different prompts, and then I said imagine those, right? Just click on it and it will imagine them. But then it didn't really give me what I was expecting or what that thing looked like, right? But then I picked one that was closest to it or that I liked, and then started making variations and steering it and changing it, and then somehow now we're doing the same thing again as in the other video, but somehow I turned this thing and children of it into this one, something completely different. And then of course these are other variations of that one, of this one, and they're about daydreaming. This one wasn't really about daydreaming, but then I decided to make some about daydreaming, which are variations of this one. And interestingly enough, this one is like some kind of distant relative of that somehow, which is what I'll show you in the next video. How did I do it? That's what I'll show you. So we'll just keep this first one simple and not show you any more. So I hope that helps, because you go to inbox and mentions, and then you can use this to go to these. Like maybe you made these posts in a newbie room, but you want to bring it into your direct message chat and work on it there. So that, because if we go here and we upscale or make variations from here, then we'll still be in that newbie room, right? And so thus with the problems that come with that. So say we want to just transfer this whole thing over into there. I'll just do it again so you see it one more time. You can open this post in the browser if you want, copy message link, put that in the browser. But what we got to do in this case, because there's a grid, you could do it if there was an upscale too. It's just that with an upscale, you will have another way of doing it, which I'll show you right after this, just so that you have both ways. So we have the image, open in browser. That's what I did. Here we are. Okay, that is the URL of this image. So, see, I just did this earlier, right? That's what I showed you. So if you were to save it, you'd get this file name. Okay, but what about the job ID? That's this part here. Okay, so I've already copied that to my clipboard, right? I just did. You would have seen me do that. So we'll go to direct messages with the Midjourney bot. And then you go show. And I hit tab there, but I had to wait for the thing to pop up, like the command to be there so I could select it, okay? That's the thing I had to learn at the very beginning in order to imagine stuff. I was like, how does this work? Because I hadn't even used Discord before. In order to use Midjourney, I had to start with like using Discord. I didn't know anything about it. And so, yeah, there was a few things at the beginning that was frustrating. Okay, so here I just said show that job ID, and then we got that there. So you can see I've transferred this one in, a copy of it, but it doesn't matter. You can then make variations of it, or whatever you want to do. Or save the image or whatever. So we just did variations of 4 of this one here, but without changing anything. And that one doesn't fill the whole frame. It's got like the black lines on the side, so it's like a different aspect ratio. But the other ones all fill it. Okay. Alright, I'll just upscale number 2. Alright. So we won't go into more details like the other video, because that'll be a waste of time. Because it's already been done, but it wasn't recorded. It's recorded as a video, so you can see it, but it's all silent, so it's kind of silly. And silliness is a good thing, which we'll get into in another future video, because it can create laughter and more creativity. So here, and the other one, which was just an arbitrary example. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. We'll just leave it there. If you want to go God mode with your AI art, then go to aiartgodmode.com.